Good evening. You might remember a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, actually it was Alsager, when we went to pick up the kit, the brew kit that you're looking at now, and the empty room that was left behind once we'd emptied it. And I'll be forever grateful to the lodge in Alsager and Carl there for helping us out with that kit. The reason was so that he could make better use of the space for some customer seating, and as you'll see now, the transformation is excellent. I mean, it is really impressive. If you happen to be in the area, I would strongly encourage going down for a beer and a look around. This is the beer garden area. This isn't my video, by the way. I've stolen this shamelessly off Facebook, I think it was. But the beer garden area now is big and open. Looks much better than it was before. And just on the right here, you'll see where the brewery was. They've got some bifolds, some little seating in there. Much more pleasant environment. Anyway, so last night we went out for one quick drink, which turned into several more. Got in at 3 a.m. and I'd forgotten I needed to be up at 6 to go make beer. Apologies for my slightly hungover demeanour in this video. It's the 25th of June, Saturday. It's a bit of a late one today. It's 9:20 already. I'm normally here much earlier. Been here an hour or so. Just sanitised the casks, getting ready to rack into them. I've got grain in the mash tun, no water yet. So I'm going to get the water in there, get the mash started, fill these casks, and we'll clean the fermenter, sanitise, ready for this batch to go back in. These are both full at the moment. That one's due out next Saturday. We'll get that one into cask then. I'm running out of casks. I might have to use these ones that we acquired with the kit. I've got quite a few out there in the field. I just took a stab at 28. It should have been 56, honestly. But hey, there you go. I've got the kegs, and I have done a trial fill, and it went very well. But it's a lot of extra hassle to fill those at the moment, and I still need to get that cold room sorted. So, right, let's get started. So another little mess up. You know I like to confess my sins. This was set for 214 litres. However, I neglected to turn on the little pump down there, which circulates the HLT water from the bottom up that pipe and in the top. So I realised just as I was about to mash in, so switched it on, gave it 5 minutes to circulate, and the temperature's gone up to 72. I can't add more cold because it's full, or was. So I've gone in with 72, which means I'm losing 5 degrees at the moment in this weather. So it means I would be at 67, which is 2 degrees higher than I needed. So I've stopped the transfer 14 litres early, and I'm getting 65 and a half. So I'm happy with that. The mash isn't any different than normal, really. It's not, there's a dough ball. The mash isn't any thicker than normal, really, not noticeably so. So I'll be all right with that, I think. But just that additional hot water that's missing has just kept the temperature down a little bit. So I'm happy with that, and I'll obviously replace that missing water at Sparge. And we're done, and it's not even 5 o'clock. I think I said 5 o'clock earlier. Brew day's done. I didn't film it. It was pretty much the same as every other so far, except I'm getting closer and closer to the numbers every time. I had to add a little bit of water just to bring it to where it needed to be during the boil, but other than that, perfect. In the tank. So sitting there for 5 days, dry hop, another few days, crash and cask, if I can find enough casks, because that's the big challenge I've got at the moment. We've got a little stock, which is good, because the orders that we have over the next few weeks to fulfill, they're gone basically, they're already sold. We've got 2 batches there, 7 and 8. And the casks that are already out in circulation, I need to try and get some back ready for the next one. On the subject of casks, you've probably noticed we've had a bit of move around, and I've moved the cold rooms to the back of the unit. And the reason for that is to free up a bit more floor space, so that hopefully we can get a sort of viewing area, tap area, something in here. Plus there's just a bit more room to manoeuvre, turn the bench sideways on, so that we've got a kind of straight through from the roller door without having to work our way around the table. It felt like a good idea to have it here as a workstation, a workbench, but in reality it was just getting in the way, so we've twisted that around 90 degrees, gives a bit more room. Big grain delivery came in, so challenge with that is, again, it's just floor space, isn't it? We can't really go up because I don't have a mezzanine or any sort of shelving yet, so I think that's something that we need to think about. I could possibly get some of it on top of the cold rooms, or the conditioning rooms, but the weight of it is ridiculous. The spare mash tun that Martin Bailey's having, or possibly not having now, I'm not sure the timing works for him, and I'm just giving him a couple of days to decide if he can get some transport up there and if he can ready some space for it, but if not, he's quite happy for me to let it go if somebody else wants it. I did have one comment in the comments of a previous video, somebody else was interested, so if you're still interested, maybe drop me a note again, and we'll have a chat. Once I've cleared that space, then we can put the grain there, and it really opens the place up completely. I'm thinking of using the casks that we inherited with the brew kit. They're filthy. They've still got a bit of beer in some of them, and they must be 3 or 4 years old, possibly. Painted in the wrong colours, but they are ours. So I might well just give them a bit of TLC and see if we can salvage some of them. The weird thing is that they're 10-gallon casks, and that's not really standard. So I don't know if it'll put the pubs off or not, but we'll see. Other news: the Newton Brewery Inn round the corner. Simon there, the landlord, has been there about 10 years. Is very keen to work with us, but he is tied to a brewery, and didn't have any permission for external beers out of Thai, but he's negotiated that permission with them now on a trial basis, just to try us out. The good thing is he's right at the other side of town from the King's Lock, so we got one on the west side and one on the east side, so it'd be nice to have both sides of town covered. They've got a different group of drinkers in there as well, so there'll be people that haven't had the opportunity possibly to try Murgy Straight yet, so that'll be nice to get down there. So I dropped him a cask yesterday. He's going to try and get that on for Sunday, depending when you watch this, Sunday the 26th I think it is. Should have just settled by then. It's been conditioning here for a couple of weeks. I've been asked to support a couple of beer festivals as well. One in Warrington, at the Tavern Sports Bar. It's run by 4T's Brewery, a small brewery up in Warrington, who are involved in a lot of the beer festivals around, certainly around the north, possibly around the rest of the UK. So they've asked if I could provide some beer for that, for their own festival. Then I've been asked if I'm happy to work with them on the Derby Festival, the Nottingham Festival in October, and also there's a brief discussion about some stuff down in Cardiff. So looks like we're going national potentially quicker than I'd expected. And if we've got the beer to support them, I'd love to. The question is, how quick can I get the casks back? So I might have to have a chat with Keg Logistics again. And I've got these 32 kegs, and it's too many right now because everything's cask. So I'm wondering whether to see if I can do a bit of a deal to exchange them or something. It's just a shame because they're painted and engraved. And I'm tied till February, I think, or March for the kegs. And that was the deal. I don't mind paying, but if they're interested in getting some of these kegs back, because there's potentially a bit of a challenge at the moment with packaging, I understand. So they may be quite happy to swap them. I don't know. We'll find out. So last week's festival, the Folk and Boat Festival, was a huge success. It was busy down at that pub. You might notice that I had a few beers when I did that video, but it was awesome. I'm still buzzing from it now. I mean, they sold 2 casks on the run-up for the 2 days before the festival started, and then they shifted another 7 on Saturday and Sunday lunchtime. By Sunday evening they were out. Should have took them 9. It sounds stupid, doesn't it? There was some other beers on there, but I think the fact that it was Middlewich, it's brewed here, it's a local festival, people were drawn to it, I think, and yeah, they shifted a lot of beer that weekend. It's left me in a bit of a situation in that I've got 0 beer right now that's ready. I've got 8 casks that will be conditioned out on Wednesday, and I've got another 7 for the following Wednesday. And I've got these 2 here, so it's a temporary stock out situation, but it will recover quite quickly. And actually all the pubs that we're working with, they've all got beer anyway right now, so they're stocked. I delivered, we've delivered to the Emporium, and the King's Lock have got plenty, obviously, as well. Simon round the corner's got a cask as well. We were on at Bar 4 in Winsford as well. They took a cask from us as a bit of a test. Love to get the feedback from them. Not heard anything back yet, so if they've even tapped it and served it yet, hopefully they have. If not, that'll be on there soon. Had great feedback from the White Bear, also in town here, and Paul there has added us to his regular rotation now, so there won't be a King's Lock situation where we're on all the time there, but you should see our beers periodically, which is fine. You know, he likes variety and likes to support a lot of different breweries. Another brewery in Stoke has been in touch to see if we're interested in doing some beer swaps with them. Not something that I've done before, not quite sure how it works, we'll get into the details, but what that means is they can put our beer on in a few pubs just to the south of here, actually about 20 minutes. They can put our beer on in a few pubs down there, and we can showcase some of their beer up here in the pubs that we've got relationships with. I think it might be a little bit early, given that we're working this local angle here, and that's the novelty of the beer, the fact that it's brewed locally. So whether there'd be the same attraction for kegs from the next town along, I hope there would be, but I just need to think about the timing and chat with Jack and Liam as well. And that's about it for today. Is it? Yeah, that's about it for today. I'm going to go home now. I have 2 bottles of Mr. Rickshaw's gift that arrived last week by Royal Mail. They're cleared lovely now, so let's get home, get them poured, and have a little go. Right, I'm back. Bit of a delay. That was yesterday. This is today. Just done the Homebrew Pub Podcast with Andrew, and the host. He has this podcast series where he has a ethereal pub somewhere out in the universe where every beer on tap is made by a home brewer, and so you get the chance to nominate one of your beers or a favourite beer style, talk about it. Obviously, we've been chatting about the brewery and the progress and whatever, so I had really good fun. It took a lot longer than I thought, but that's okay. He'll edit it down to something more reasonable, but that will be published in a week or two's time. I'll tell you when it's out if you fancy it. But in the meantime, he's got some great content on there, interviews with Martin Keane, Sarah Flora, a few other Homebrew YouTube guys. Yeah, really good channel. The Homebrew Pub Podcast. Anyway, here we are. Finally, Mr. Shaw's other 2 bottles. If you remember, I did one the other week, and it was still a bit cloudy because it'd been bouncing around in the back of a Royal Mail van. These have settled out lovely now, nice and clear. There's a Kolsch here, and the summer. What was it again? Summer Ale 4.2. So I think I'm going to try the Kolsch because I've done a couple of Kolsches, but I've always been a little disappointed with the results. I'm just going to crack this open because I'm one-handed. Now, I know Kolsch is supposed to be served in these little 200 milliliter glasses, but I don't have the luxury of 200 ml glasses. Plus, it's bottle conditioned, so if I start messing around and don't give it a straight pour, we'll end up with a bit. So lovely, clarity's lovely, really nice. Okay, moment of truth. Oh, that is good. That's better than mine. Better than my attempt. What is that? 3.5%. Amazing. Oh, 3.5. Why? Is it 3.5%? What does that say? Rick, you might have to help me. Is that 3.5 years old? YO? Or is that a percent? I don't know. It tastes more than 3.5. If that's 3.5, I'm dead impressed. Rick, I need your recipe for that. Impressed. Where's the camera? There it is. Excel yourself. That's beautiful. Next up, Mr. Rick Shaw's Summer Ale 4.2. This looks to be a little bit darker, but I can still see the clarity is brilliant. Let's have a go. Yeah, they're really settled out nicely, these. Just shows you. All it takes is a bit of time. Rick's Summer Ale. What is a summer ale? I always thought summer ales were a bit lighter. This is quite bitter. It's refreshing. It is quite bitter. It's a nice drink. There's like a burnt caramel, almost very slightly smoky, kind of back note to it, back of your tongue. But you don't get anything like that on the aroma. It's lovely colour. Maybe it is a summer ale, I don't know. Maybe I should read the guidelines. That would be it's a nice end of summer ale, I think. That's like an autumn ale. But good, all the same. Yeah, not bad. I think out of the 3 that I've had, my preference, I think, is the Kolsch. Kolsch is excellent. I'd love to brew something like that. I'll have a chat with you, Rick, about the recipe. Thanks, guys. See you next time.